I think he revealed himself to me.
Who?
God.
From creation to struggle to redemption. Life.
You never really know a motherfucker's true intentions.
Life. No matter what is being pulled towards a brighter future.
I want you to do whatever the fuck it takes.
Alamo Brown. I hate that things have gotten so contentious between us.
Right now is a blessing.
They go to Mexico, I go.
The countdown to the finale has officially begun. In today's breakdown, we are diving deep into the official first look, sneak peeks, and trailer for Euphoria Season 3, Episode 7. The 5-year time jump has completely changed the stakes, and the drama has shifted from high school halls to dark adult survival. We break down every hidden detail and major character arc in this episode, including Rue's terrifying debt to Alamo Brown and Maddy's desperate attempt to save her. We also look at the massive power shift between Cassie's new empire and Nate Jacobs' total financial ruin. Plus, what is going on with Jules' secret penthouse life, and who is holding that silver handgun at the end of the teaser. We are analyzing all the top fan theories, Easter eggs, and major clues you definitely missed in the trailer. Could Episode 7 feature the most devastating character death of the entire series? Drop your predictions in the comments below. The latest teaser trailer drops us right back into the lion's den, and it looks like Rue is finally running out of time and running out of miracles. After the absolute terror of the last episode, we see Rue looking completely hollow, staring blankly into the neon-lit abyss of a cheap hotel room. The voiceover from Alamo Brown is chilling, reminding her that a debt in this world isn't just about money, it is about ownership. And right now, Alamo owns her. Visual cues from the trailer show fast, chaotic cuts of Rue walking down dimly lit streets in Mexico, her hands shaking, looking over her shoulder every 2 seconds. The tension is so thick you can cut it with a knife, and the voiceover emphasizes that Rue's survival isn't guaranteed anymore. We see a split-second shot of a suitcase being opened, filled with cash and something much darker, hinting that Rue might have to make a choice that will forever compromise whatever little bit of her soul she has left. Fans are already spiraling over a specific clip where Maddy is seen pleading with Alamo in a tense, hushed argument outside a crowded nightclub. The script reveals that Maddy is trying to leverage her own position to buy Rue some time, arguing that Rue has a good heart, despite her self-destructive nature. But Alamo isn't a high school bully you can outsmart with witty remarks. She is a dangerous criminal who operates on absolute loyalty and cold, hard cash. The cinematography in this sequence uses heavy shadows and a suffocating red tint, symbolizing that Maddy might be dragging herself into the fire just to keep Rue alive. This sneak peek heavily implies that a major betrayal is brewing, because Maddy can only protect Rue for so long before she becomes a target herself. The atmosphere is heavy with dread, and every single frame screams that someone is going to pay a massive price before the episode ends. The biggest takeaway from this first look is the looming threat of the time jump reckoning, as the ghosts of East Highland have officially followed everyone into their 20s. Rue's addiction used to hurt her family and friends, but now it is a matter of literal life and death involving cartels and people who don't care about her recovery. We see a brief, heartbreaking shot of Leslie, Rue's mom, crying while holding an old photograph, suggesting that the family is completely powerless to save her this time. The trailer ends this segment with a terrifyingly quiet shot of a black SUV pulling up next to Rue on a deserted road, the window rolling down just enough to show a pair of eyes watching her. It is a brilliant, suspenseful setup that guarantees Episode 7 will be a heart-stopping hour of television, leaving viewers desperate to know if Rue can truly escape this cycle of survival, or if her luck has finally run out. The trailer shifts focus with a sharp, jarring contrast, moving away from the gritty underworld of Mexico and slamming us directly into the blinding, superficial lights of Cassie's new life. We see Cassie standing in front of a massive modern vanity mirror, applying a thick layer of lip gloss with a cold, almost robotic look in her eyes. The 5-year time jump has completely transformed her from the desperate, validation-seeking girl of high school into a calculated, self-made businesswoman who leverages her own image for absolute financial independence. The visual edits show fast cuts of her scrolling through bank statements and luxury apartment listings, proving she has built an empire on her own terms. However, the true shocker of this sneak peek comes from Maddy's voiceover playing over these scenes, revealing that this entire independent era is actually a highly bankable partnership between the two former best friends. They aren't letting the past hold them back. Instead, they are using Cassie's massive online platform to fund their survival, turning their old trauma into cold, hard cash. But while Cassie's star is rising into the stratosphere, Nate Jacobs is shown experiencing a total unhinged downward spiral. The trailer cuts to a dimly lit, messy office where Nate is aggressively sweeping papers off a desk, his face contorted in absolute rage and desperation. With Cal Jacobs gone, the family business has completely collapsed, leaving Nate completely broke and drowning in legal debts he cannot pay. The cinematic framing here is brilliant, keeping Nate trapped in tight, claustrophobic spaces with heavy blue shadows to show how powerless he has truly become. In high school, Nate used power and money as a weapon to control everyone around him, especially Cassie. Now, the tables have turned so drastically that it gives you chills. A brief sneak peek clip shows Nate desperately calling Cassie, his voice cracking as he asks to meet up. But the screen cuts to Cassie simply glancing at her vibrating phone and flipping it face down without a second thought. She holds all the leverage now, and Nate is realizing that without his family's wealth, he is absolutely nothing. The trailer takes a sharp, unexpected turn into a completely different kind of danger, shifting the spotlight onto Jules and the highly controversial life she has built during the time jump. The screen fills with an ethereal, almost haunting soft pink light, but the mood is far from romantic. We see Jules sitting in a high-end, minimalist penthouse overlooking a sprawling city skyline, looking incredibly expensive but utterly hollowed out. The sneak peek reveals that her luxurious lifestyle is entirely funded by Ellis, a wealthy older man who acts as her sugar daddy. The visual cues are subtle but devastating. The camera slowly pans across a massive walk-in closet filled with designer clothes, only to linger on a shot of Jules's face as Ellis places a heavy diamond necklace around her neck. It feels less like a gift and more like a gilded cage. For a character who always chased freedom and self-expression, Jules now looks completely trapped by financial security, trading her artistic soul for a lifestyle that is slowly erasing who she used to be. The real tension explodes when the trailer cuts to a messy, tension-filled argument inside that very same penthouse. But Ellis isn't the one yelling. It's Rue. In a shocking blink-and-you-miss-it clip, Rue is seen standing in Jules's living room, looking disheveled and frantic, while Jules stands frozen in pure panic. The voiceover implies that Rue accidentally discovered Jules's secret arrangement while looking for a place to hide from Alamo Brown's crew. This leads to a heartbreaking confrontation where the raw, unresolved trauma of their high school relationship comes roaring back to life. Rue calls Jules out for selling her soul for a pretty apartment, while Jules fires back, accusing Rue of bringing cartel violence right to her doorstep and risking everything she has worked for. The cinematography during this scene is chaotic, using shaky, handheld camera movements that make the audience feel like they are trapped in the room during a terrible domestic meltdown. This sneak peek heavily suggests that Jules's secret is going to trigger a domino effect of betrayal that will ruin multiple lives before the episode ends. We see a fast sequence of cuts showing Ellis looking through security footage, realizing that an uninvited guest has been inside his home, which spells absolute disaster for Jules. Fans are theorizing that Ellis might have dark connections of his own, and finding out about Rue's cartel debts could put Jules in direct crosshairs. The segment wraps up with a chilling shot of Jules standing alone in a massive empty art gallery, tears streaming down her face, as her phone screen lights up with a text message that could ruin her entire future. It is a brilliant, tragic setup that proves Jules is no longer the innocent girl we met in Season 1. She is playing a dangerous adult game, and the price of losing is everything. The trailer reaches a boiling point, pulling all these messy storylines together for a final sequence that feels like a ticking time bomb. The music drops out completely, replaced by the heavy, rhythmic sound of a heartbeat that gets faster and faster with every passing second. We see a massive wall of monitors inside a dark room, flashing quick, chaotic images of every single character we have followed through this 5-year time jump. There is an eerie text overlay across the screen that reads, "The past never dies," signaling that Episode 7 is going to force everyone to face the music right before the grand finale. The visual editing here is frantic and dizzying, jumping from Lexi frantically typing away on a laptop with tears in her eyes to a mysterious fire burning in the background of an empty alleyway. It creates an overwhelming feeling of panic, making it crystal clear that the fragile adult lives these characters built are about to shatter into a million pieces. The fan theories are already breaking the internet based on one specific chilling image at the very end of the sneak peek. We see a close-up shot of a single silver handgun sitting on a glass coffee table, reflecting the neon pink and blue lights that have defined the show's look from day one. Rumors are flying that Maddy's dangerous alliance with Alamo Brown is going to blow up in everyone's faces, leading to a violent confrontation where someone won't make it out alive. The voiceover returns one last time, with Rue whispering a haunting question. How do you know when you've finally crossed the line? This single sentence has fans convinced that a major character is going to pull the trigger, completely shifting the dynamic of the show and setting up a devastating cliffhanger for the final episode. The segment wraps up by leaning heavily into the countdown format, designed to leave the audience completely desperate for answers. The screen fades to total blackness, followed by the bold, white numbers of the release date flashing on screen alongside a prompt for viewers to drop their wild predictions in the comments below. By analyzing the heavy symbolism, the shifting power dynamics, and the hidden clues in the background of these shots, this breakdown proves that Episode 7 is going to be an emotional roller coaster. It isn't just another hour of drama, it is the definitive turning point that will decide who survives the wreckage of their choices and who gets left behind in the dark.